Do you think that Ron Perlman remembers Mutant Chronicles?
Oh my god! Watch Round Throw be like, that was my favorite. I mean, it bombed in the box office. Was my favorite acting film, and be like, no shit. Can you sign our copy real quick?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bricked Up Podcast, building your algorithm brick by brick. And today we finally have another special episode for you. It's been a while. We've had a couple of ideas in the works, but we finally have another special episode. I grabbed Philip by the balls and told him that we're doing this. It only took 2 weeks, but we're here. We're finally doing it. And
It only took my enslavement by the pit raiders for this opportunity to happen. Why don't you tell the folks what you sold me into slavery for exactly?
to meet the man, the Johns of many a Fallouts, John Fallout himself, Mr. Narrator, but not only Mr. Narrator from Fallout, but also Mr. Chronicle from Mutant Chronicles, Mr. Boy from Hellboy, Mr. Anarchy from Sons of Anarchy, and Mr. Resurrection from Alien Resurrection. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the harrowing tale of how I, at Terrificon 2026, got to meet the man, the myth, the legend, Ron Perlman.
Yay, Ron Perlman! Yay! Honestly, low key, people who are watching, I'm low key kind of jealous that he got to meet Ron Perlman.
Uh huh.
Not gonna remember,
I got to meet
but
him
it
without Phillip, which is a little
yeah,
sad, but
yeah, because I was in Pittsburgh that week or weekend, I should say. So yeah,
I don't think you
but I
were.
think it's really sorry. What were you gonna say?
I don't think you were willing to make the drive up to Connecticut anyway.
Well, that's true, but I basically was halfway there anyway with where I was at. So
I
I guess I
guess.
could have made it. But yeah, I'm very happy that at least one of us has gotten to meet somebody who is a very big inspiration and a fan favorite between the two of us. So
Mm-hmm.
that's I'm really glad that you got the opportunity to do that. And it's so cool. I'm ready to hear your experience of not only just the con itself, but also meeting the myth and the man, or the myth, the legend, Ron
The man,
Perlman.
the myth, the
So
legend. But yes,
the
we're
man, yeah,
it's going to be a while before we get to Mr. Perlman, as I will be going over the journey as we get there. So this is going to be a shorter episode, but to sort of pad out the runtime, Philip, before we get to Terrificon and my experience with it, have you ever experienced any conventions, and have you ever managed to meet anybody famous, whether that be in niche circles or someone as big as Mr. Perlman?
the only time I've ever had experience with like any kind of con was like this was back in like 2012. So I was like 12, 13 years old, right?
Mm.
And this was just like a local con, right? Nothing big, no fancy things. It was actually held in like my now bulldozed mall that was in my hometown. It had like cool vendors, handcrafted stuff that was very sci-fi or even related to like certain anime and stuff. It had a little bit of everything, right? And and I kid you not, the one guy that they got to come is like, the celebrities, I guess you could say, quote
Yeah.
unquote. You know who this guy was? He was just an extra in The Walking Dead. Um, like this was when like walking like so I guess he was like a little bit popular. Not that if I said his name, he would probably barely come up in any kind of credits or anything like that. But like he was just basically a zombie, right? But this was during the time that like The Walking Dead was the peak fucking television show at the time. Yeah. So like they had quite a bit of a line. And I thought that was cool. I didn't get to meet him myself because, like, I was like, I'm gonna look at all this other cool merchandise that they got here. I don't give a fuck about who this, non John Fallout guy,
John Zombie.
um, John Zombie, Rob Zombies, John. Yeah. So like, that's really the only experience we had. That con happened like 2 years in a row, and then it never came back again, which I was so sad about. But
Well,
yeah, that's really the only experience I've ever had with like any kind of like con.
okay. Well, at least it lasted longer than what was it called? The Tumblr convention.
Oh, the Tumblr convention.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but the very infamous for probably being the worst convention ever. Like, have you heard of the ball pit that they had there?
I did not. I have not. What is the ball pit?
Well, from what I remember, the story is that this convention was just very empty. Well, I think there was like a lot of people there, but not a lot of stuff to do. Like, not many celebrities or anything like that. But infamously, there was like a ball pit that they set up.
Oh God.
Let me try to look it up. Tumblr convention ball pit. DashCon is what it was called. It was hosted in 2014, and allow me to introduce to you the famous ball pit from DashCon 2014. That is not a that's just a link to a PNG. What the fuck? Hold on, let me get you a different one. uh,
Okay.
Here, this should actually be there we go.
Is that like a rubber raft? Oh my! I can't.
No. See, if you zoom in and you look in the back, it looks like it has one of those like inflator machines.
Oh yeah, but also look how they have to have taped the ripped parts of. I assume
Yeah.
those are like ripped portions. Like this is probably some fucking inflatable pool thing that they found like somewhere in the back room that's been there since like the 70s, and they were like, "Yeah, everybody, let's get in the ball pit." Woo! I also like I feel like this is before like the back rooms became a popular concept.
Yeah.
This is what you would see in the back rooms is the infamous like DashCon ball pit just
S-
somewhere in there.
It's funny you say that because there's like images of people in the ball pit, and I found this one of Slender Man in the
Oh
ball
my
pit.
god. Could you
There's a
imagine
lot of
being
these.
in You know what's crazy is that that guy is alive out there somewhere, and like he is like incognito, infamously known for being in the ball pit. That's like a thing I would like tell people at like around the bar or like at dinner, be like, this one time, I was in the infamous DashCon ball pit, and everybody like, what the fuck is DashCon? What's the fucking ball pit, bro? And I'm just like, you're just not cool enough to know, and cry.
Someone cosplayed as the ball pit.
Oh my god, DashCon 2014. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's
That's a
a
very interesting dress or cosplay, by the way.
mm. Yes, there's a lot of these infamous conventions. Magic Mush did a video on it, and man, oh man, DashCon, my god.
DashCon is not the same one of the infamous furry convention where they just kind of soiled the entirety of a hotel, right?
What?
I forget what it like was called, but it was a furry convention, right? They just like shit and pissed everywhere, and even like like there were like
Oh.
soiled diapers everywhere.
Oh, no, what the fuck?
I'll have
Yeah,
to look it up.
no.
I'm not gonna look it up for this episode, but I'm sure there's some viewers out there that know what I'm fucking talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
this is not the same convention. This is a Tumblr convention. So the worst
well,
you're gonna
okay.
get is people who don't wear deodorant. Anyway, yeah, this is pretty bad. I see an image of the fucking infamous Willy Wonka thing that they did back when the Wonka movie came out. But anyway, moving on from that, I technically been to one Brickfest live a couple years back, and it was kind of underwhelming. I won't lie. Like, it's definitely not as big as like some of the other Lego conventions that you usually hear about or see on like YouTube or whatever that's covered by like
right.
some of the Lego news outlets, or Beyond the Brick, I think is the one I'm specifically thinking about. But like, eh, I mean, they had some like statues, they had some impressive statues, so that was cool. But like overall, I felt like it was a bit of an underwhelming experience, and I hate to say it because my grandparents took me and they got me a nice VIP pass and stuff. But like the VIP offering wasn't that great. Like
Right.
it allowed you access to like this one area where you could build your own little guy that's based on that's the mascot for Brickfest, and that was kind of about it.
Do you think there's a lot of those like cons that just aren't all that great and just like
Yeah,
fucking
I
like
definitely feel like that they exist, but they still have their detractors. Oh, or not
right.
detractors. They still have the people that they attract, and I feel like if you wanted to take your kid to like a cheaper experience that still has like some cool things to look at, that those fests or conventions are still, pretty good, pretty all right.
Yeah.
But like overall for
So
like
I had another question for you.
okay.
I was gonna ask, were you bricked up for this Brickfest at this
No.
time? That's a shame.
Yeah,
Anyway, continue.
it's not like Lego festivals or conventions are gonna bring out, fucking Chris Pratt or Jack Black or any celebrities or anybody like that. Probably a bunch of YouTubers, like Lego YouTubers that you would know, like Mandar Productions and all those people. But like, yeah, nothing really like that at Brickfest. But they had their own little store area where I bought my Hogwarts Express, the big one. They had a little creators table where they had some Lego creators set up, and one of them had like Bionicle sets, not like the actual buildable Bionicles, but like the ones where the Bionicles are minifigures and those kinds of sets. So we had those,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was talking to him about them because I was like, yeah, I've seen these before in like a Lego pirate versus robot stop motion video, and he's like, oh yeah, these are from this line of Bionicle sets, and it was pretty cool to talk to him about it. But yeah, I left that convention holding on to my Hogwarts Express, and everybody on the escalator was just looking at me in awe, especially the children.
Oh, really? That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, look what I got, kids.
Fuck all you.
Fuck off. Jesus carries his cross.
You know, you know, if you're not too care, if you were unattended, you want, I bet 100% one of those fucking fat, like smelly motherfuckers would have pushed you over to grab that and take it from you.
What? Man, I can't find it, but like, just there's a reference to like, the Jesus carries his cross thing is not really in reference to Jesus. It's a picture of like a guy walking in a crowd with like a big box with like an anime girl sex doll, and it just says the caption, Jesus carries his cross. But yeah, fast forwarding to 3 weeks ago on a lonely Saturday night. I'm scrolling through Instagram and I get like an ad for Terrificon coming to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Very close. And I was like, oh, okay. We never get these fucking big conventions. Well, sometimes we do, and sometimes it's close by, but like we never really get any of these big fucking conventions in Connecticut, or at least near me. Because usually it'll be in
Right.
like New Haven or Hartford, and I fucking hate
Right.
cities. So it's like, damn, that's crazy. But
Was this was Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like is was this held in like a convention center or
well, I'm getting there. I'm getting
what
there. I'm getting there.
okay.
Hold your questions. So this is at Mohegan Sun, which is a casino, and yes, they do have a convention floor. They do have a big area for these kinds of things. And Mohegan Sun is also very similar to Foxwoods, which is another casino place where they have all these different restaurants. They have fucking gambling area because it's a fucking casino. They have theater for comedians and all this other shit. So big place, a lot of shit that they host. So I go onto the website, and this is basically like I wouldn't say it's Comic-Con or MegaCon level, but it's big. It's a big convention. There's going to be a lot of people showing up, from vendors to names that a person like me would know, or a person like you, Philip, would know.
Right.
So authors, comic creators, voice actors, etc. So, when it comes to comics and authors, there were a lot of names that I read that I recognized. The highest of the highest that was coming there was Jim Lee. And Jim Lee, at this moment, is the chief creative officer of DC Comics.
Wow. That's awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah. Below him was a bunch of other comic legends, like Chris Claremont, who's done some of the most notorious runs for the X-Men.
Oh yeah.
The co-creator of Deadpool was also there. A bunch of comic creators that you would know are there. In terms of authors, there's plenty. John Jackson Miller, author of Batman Resurrection and Batman Revolution, the two tie-in books to the Tim Burton movies, was there. Timothy Zahn, who is responsible for the Thrawn trilogy, was there. A bunch of other
Right.
names that I would know. Celebrities, plentiful. The tippiest top was Leah Thompson from Back to the Future, who played Marty's mom, and yes, Howard the Duck was also advertised. You also had D. Bradley Baker, the voice of the clones in Star Wars The Clone Wars. Diedrich Bader, voice of Batman in Batman the Brave and the Bold, and so many other characters. Patrick Warburton was there. Joe Swanson,
Oh,
Buzz Lightyear, The Tick, Agent T from Men in Black, who was also advertised. Patrick Warburton basically had like every fucking character he played on his banner. Nika Futerman, number 5 from Kids Next Door.
nice.
I'm pretty sure she voiced Nyx in Infamous 2. So many other characters that you would recognize her from for that very distinct voice. Sergeant Slaughter, the wrestler, was also there. He was kind of really low on the list, but I was like, I know who that guy is. But yeah, a
Yeah,
lot.
I definitely know that.
I know that you knew him, and I kind of thought about going to meet him, but I wasn't sure about what
Yeah,
his prices were, and that's the thing that I'm going to get to in a little bit. Because it's like
gotcha.
as many people as there were that I would have loved to have met, that maybe talk to, get a picture, have something signed, it was going to be very pricey as I would say the average price for getting signatures or photo op stuff like that was around $60.
Okay.
And it looked like a lot of them was cash only. Not really
Mm,
cards. Even though the website said otherwise for certain individuals, once you got to the convention, you would sorely realize that almost every single celebrity was cash only. But of course, second billing when it came to the list of celebrities was Ron Perlman, and my heart fucking exploded when I saw him. I mean, the man is only 20 minutes away from me at Mohegan Sun, a 20-minute drive. And finally, I had a chance to meet the man. So I texted Alex, and we had already talked about doing a guy's day at some point. So this was the perfect opportunity to do a guy's day. Go to Terrificon, meet some people that I've always wanted to meet, especially Ron Perlman, because Philip, you and I have made a list of people that we would love to meet. Unfortunately, some of these people like Michael Madsen and Sam Neill have unfortunately
yep.
passed away. But there's still plenty people on our list that are still kicking around, and Ron Perlman
Hmm.
is at the tippy top of that list. And I guess
Yep. Yep.
technically it would be half completed because you have still yet to meet the man. But I have met him.
But I think it's still worth checking off the box at least.
Yes.
At least one of us has met him.
Yes. And another part of the process of meeting Ron Perlman was also completed, but we will talk about that in a while. So, like I said, my heart's accelerating because a lot of these people I would love to meet very close by. So I text Alex, I tell him about this, I give him as much information as I can. The unfortunate thing about that weekend that Terrificon was being held is that Alex, my brother, and his fiance were going to be closing on their new house, and they more than likely weren't going to have any time to do any of this. So Alex was desperately trying to figure it out. So throughout the week, we were talking about it. He said he would love to go, but he just didn't know if it was going to work out. He said expect to just not go. So the convention ran from Friday to Sunday. Friday came, gone. That Saturday, which would have been the most expensive day to go on because tickets were $49 on Saturday, but Sunday was the cheapest of $42. That Saturday evening, Alex knocked on my door because we had talked about it and it sounded like we were not going to go, but he's like, knocked on my door, I opened it, and he's like, do you want to go tomorrow? And I fucking lit up. I was so excited. And then I had also offered the Kaya to come with us because I didn't really want to. I didn't want to leave her out, even though I wanted this to be a guys' day, just me and Alex. I didn't really want to leave her out because also, she loves Star Wars. And D. Bradley Baker was going. I didn't know if we were ever. I didn't know if we were gonna meet him. We ended up not meeting him, but maybe at some point in the future we will. But there's plenty of things that she can also enjoy at the convention. So I had
Right.
also extended the invitation to her. I said I was going to pay for the tickets, which is also quite the process. We were all in agreement. We were going to go on Sunday. Seeing as the website listed people like Ron and certain other celebrities as not cash only, I had also wanted to inquire some questions of the convention. Some of them being, how do I pay for certain things with like card? What kind of card? Like, because some of these people still use shit like PayPal or Venmo and don't really use Visa for some damn fucking reason, even though it's like the
Right.
universal card. Some conventions are like that. There are some celebrities who will accept cards and some who wouldn't. Like on the website, it did not say Ron was cash only. It did say Patrick Warburton was. So I was like, okay. So, in preparation, I reset up my Venmo account, and I couldn't add any money to it. I don't think I still can, despite whatever. Anyway, so that was kind of There was an ATM at the convention, but man, I don't know. It's like I don't know. My brother did get some cash for us. He gave me the cash because he's like, you know what, this is your thing. Here, have the cash. So I had the cash money while we were there. So, Terrificon, Sunday, Terrificon, we are there. And man, this is also quite the process, but it was like simple drive to Mohegan Sun. It was a hot day, really hot. Alex was like, "Oh, it should be cool on the inside, AC and all that." And I was like, "Alex, there's like probably 1,000 people here. The body heat that's going to be generated is going to negate whatever the fuck the AC is putting out." So dress lightly. Kaya dressed up in cosplay. I was wearing my Species t-shirt, hoping that people would say something about it or recognize it. No one did. But I also wore a Mario Toad buttoned-up shirt. I thought that would be
Right.
appropriate. Alex was like supernatural themed, wearing jeans, a shirt that had the Demon Ward tattoo on it, and a flannel. So we were all done up, and we get there, and it's quite a walk from the garage to the convention, and then there was the line. Oh
Oh boy.
boy. The line stretched on and on and on.
And this is for like the front door.
This is for the gateway, quote unquote, the gateway, like the scanners and everything, into the convention. It went on
Oh.
and on. We were in the back rooms, Philip. We were all the way in the back rooms, and it took like maybe like an agonizing 5 to 10 minutes before the line started moving, and we were all allowed inside. So we get there, and going through the metal detector, they checked my bag because I brought a bag with me that had my copies of Batman Resurrection and Revolution and my 4K steelbook of Hellboy and the DVD copy that I rush ordered on Amazon of Mutant Chronicles, because as part of our plan was to get Ron Perlman to sign a copy of Mutant Chronicles and to ask him if he remembers making this movie. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. So we enter the convention. We are on the ground floor. It is busy, and there's a lot. There's a lot of vendors selling comic books and some vintage ones and some omnibuses that I, salivated over because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is old, this is original. There are toy vendors, which I ended up buying a Count Dooku figure from a vendor that a coworker of Alex's was running. So it was cool to meet him because I'm apparently a legend among his friend group at work. And I've yet to meet a certain man who really wants to meet me among that friend group. And I can't wait. But I met him, and I bought a Count Dooku figure from him. I was looking for a Qui-Gon Black Series, didn't find it, but got me a Count Dooku, so that was great. I wish I also picked up a Jango Fett while I was there, but yeah, there's a lot of figure vendors, a lot of mask vendors. There's a guy who had 3D printed statues and like cat masks. Like, have you seen those 3D printed cat masks where it's like
Yeah,
Daredevil? Yeah, he was selling those. We talked to him for a
yeah,
little bit. He was a pretty cool guy. Overall, cool people selling their shit, including like in the middle of the floor, there are these people selling these drinks and stuff that Alex and Kaya bought. It looked pretty cool. There's also like a food truck, army surplus people somewhere around the corner. There was also a corner where there was another convention where the FBI had their own they had their own little vendor where they had kids playing Black Ops 2.
no fucking way. That's how you indoctrinate them young to get the next generation of FBI agents.
Oh my gosh. But like this
Do you
little
do you know what they were at? Were they actually just like,
I don't know what they
like
were
just getting
doing there.
that's interesting though. That's kind of cool though. But anyway,
Alex
continue,
and I were
continue,
like
continue.
perplexed by that. But anyway, this is also the little area where Jim Lee was going to be. And there was already a line forming when we visited this little area. But anyway, before we got there, we were walking around, and in the way back is where they have all like the big name celebrities, and then right in front of that is this area which is divided up into sections where you have all of the comic artists, comic writers, and authors. So Timothy Zahn, Chris Claremont, John Jackson Miller, they're all there. So we're walking
Right.
around. I see Timothy Zahn. He's not on my list, but I see him and I recognize him. And I'm like, that's Timothy Zahn. And Alex, doesn't. I'm more of a nerd than Alex is. So I say shit that he's like, huh? And I'm like, fucking Chris Claremont, who does the X-Men. He does all the great X-Men shit. And he's like, yeah, Jimmy John. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. All right.
Uh,
But at the same time, it's like I'm on a mission, and already Alex is kind of like trying to pull me here and there across the convention, even though I'm just like I just want to get to my shit. But at the same time, we're exploring, so it's like okay, whatever. I guess I'll cope with this. But we get to the way back. Ron isn't at his table yet because on that day there was a Sons of Anarchy panel that he and the other cast members of Sons of Anarchy were doing. I did not attend that because I have not seen Sons of Anarchy, so that wouldn't have been for me. And we were probably a little too late for that anyway. But there was a bunch of scout
right.
masters also around that area that were helping to coordinate people to keep the lines in place and everything, and basically giving us information. Like one of them was very helpful, where it's like, yeah, Ron probably won't be at his table until like maybe 1 o'clock. So we had a lot of time on our hands before Ron shows up.
Mhm.
So basically, we go back to the area where they have all of the other nerdy celebrities. And I'm looking for John Jackson Miller, who is an author. Not only did he do those two Batman books, but he also did the very famous Kenobi book that everybody says is one of the greatest Star Wars books ever made. He's also done a couple of other Star Wars books that I heard are also really good, including one called New Dawn, which is about how Kanan and Hera met each other.
Yeah.
I've actually been meaning to probably get that one and read it. He also has a Star Trek book and his own original works, but he was there and I couldn't find him. Like we went through everyone and I couldn't find him. Like I don't know if I wasn't just looking hard enough, but Alex spotted him and I was like, "Oh my god." So I go up to him and I meet him and I introduce myself. I'm very respectful. I'm like, Mr. Miller, like, well, I hand him my books. I'm like, can you please sign my books? And he's like, of course. And this man pulled out like a sheet of paper that had all these Batman 1989 quotes. And he's like, pick a quote. Pick a quote that you would like me to write. So I thought that was the coolest. So I picked, you want to get nuts? Come on,
That's
let's
pretty
get
cool.
nuts. So he writes so he writes that. He also writes in Riddle Me This in the Resurrection book. So while he's doing that, I asked him how he felt when he got chosen or something like that, when he got chosen to do the Batman books. He didn't exactly answer my question, but he told me about times where he got really excited, where he got his first big review of Kenobi that was very praising, and I forgot what the other time was. I think it had something to do with Batman. But still, good answer. Just not the exact answer I was looking for, but still. I also
Right.
talked to him to a little bit more. I was saying that I told him that I haven't finished Batman Resurrection, but I told him that the first 7 chapters, 7 to 8 chapters that I read were really great, and that I really enjoyed how he brought Clayface into the Burtonverse, and that I liked his portrayal of the character. And then he pulls out this artist's rendition of his Clayface, and it was really well done. I loved the way that this Clayface looks. In fact, the artist actually randomly popped up in my Instagram feed the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still talking to him, and he was advertising a couple of his other books. Like he had like a buy 2 books, get like 25% off or something like that. And I was tempted to like buy Kenobi and another book. However, I did not have room in my bag. I originally planned on bringing my laptop bag, but I brought a much smaller bag, so I didn't have
Right.
any room. But I really would have bought these books from him. But I was like, not today, maybe next convention. But he was really nice. I shook his hand. Really nice guy. And yeah, just an overall great experience with John Jackson Miller. He was fantastic.
Hell yeah.
So I felt fulfilled with that. So we continued on with the convention since Ron wasn't at his table yet. In fact, a lot of like the big celebrities weren't at their tables just yet. So we're walking around the convention a little more. We go into that little area I was talking about where they have a couple of other places or a couple of other vendors there, and they're trying to sell me their wares. And then as we're
Right.
coming around the corner, as we're going past the FBI booth, Ron Perlman passes by us. And I didn't see him, but Alex did, and he's just walking, like quickly walking all the way to his vendor, and already like a bunch of people are converging, following this man, including us, to his table. So we get in line, and there's a guy who's with us who has a 4K copy of Hellboy with him, and him and I are chatting it up, and we're talking about the movies, we're talking about Ron, and we're talking about our copies and stuff like that. We're just kind of nerding out. Pretty cool guy.
Right. Right. Right.
So then I get up there. Oh boy, Philip,
Mm.
this is the moment. I I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be really nervous, but I actually was very collected, surprisingly enough for me. So I have my copies out and I get up there. And man, let's just say that the experience I had with Ron wasn't like the experience I had with John Jackson Miller. Uh,
Oh.
but it's not for any wrong reason. And I'll explain why. Because my experience with Ron, I felt like I feel fulfilled. Could it have gone better? I feel like so, but when it comes to Ron Perlman, from the stuff that I hear about him, especially these conventions, this is also day 3 of the convention. He just got off a panel. Also, he was really early at his table. It wasn't even 1 o'clock yet. It was probably like 11 o'clock. But like,
Right.
he looked tired. He looked exhausted. And man, I I get the feeling. I felt for Ron. So I didn't overwhelm him or anything. Of course, I felt excited. But like
Right. Right.
the what sealed it for me with how he felt, with how he was doing, was when he grabbed my DVD copy of Mutant Chronicles. He like very quickly like took out the artwork to sign it. But he was like really quick on the draw. He's like wham, like he's done this shit before probably. But like
Yeah.
before that I like slid it, and I was like, I asked him the question. I said, "Mr. Perlman, I have one question. Do you remember making this movie?" And all he said was, "Yes." And
Oh.
that was it. Dude, I think about all the other things I could have asked him, like, what's a fond memory you've had of making this movie? Like, do you remember working with John Malkovich? Do you remember this? Do you remember that? But honestly, in the moment and feeling his energy, I was like, I think that's good enough for me. It was
Understandable.
understandable. And honestly, it feels like a very Ron Perlman response. Just yes. Simple, monotone, yes.
You know what would have been funnier? if he pulled that copy and looked at it and he said, "Damn."
Damn,
Damn.
that was my favorite film.
No, you could have said like you saw his eyes perk up and he's like, "I didn't think anybody remembered this film. I love making this fucking film."
The entire time I thought he was going to say no. I honestly believed he was going to say no. The fact that he
Yeah.
said yes actually surprised me.
How
Oh,
he's in his 70s now, isn't he?
yes. Yes.
I have to be understanding of like I'll let you continue in a moment, but I just
Mm,
like it's here in the moment and I just like you know how like some people meet their heroes and like it's or like they have the saying it's like don't ever meet your heroes because
yeah.
sometimes you might be disappointed with like what you get versus your expectations of that said person. Well, first off, I'm glad that he wasn't told dickhole or something like that and been like, all right, come on, get your shit and let's get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but I also have to understand one, he's a very A-list like actor, voice actor, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
right? But also, you know, like he's a 70-year-old man,
Yeah.
or he's like 70 in his 70s, so like and I'm sure it's very fucking I would be overwhelmed with just like the horde of fucking people coming to like see me, right? And he also just got off a fucking panel where he probably asked a hell of a lot of questions and shit
Yeah.
like that. He's probably been there from since the early morning hours, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure those people have to get there a lot earlier than like when the convention actually opens up or
Yeah.
opens the door up. You know, like I would feel exhausted at 70 years old and have to entertain thousands of fucking people, even if
Yeah.
it's just for a handful of seconds. So I can understand. Continue.
But yeah, so on top of that, like he signs my copies and he has like a handler with him, a nice young lady, but she kind of looks at me, she's kind of smiling. Before this, I had like she asked me what I wanted. Two autographs and a photo op. So after the autographs, she kind of looks at me and say, "Oh, I also ordered a photo op." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Just before this, I had shook his hand because he offered his hand. I shook his hand, really good handshake. But then I was like, "Oh, I also ordered a photo op." And then the way Ron gets up, it looks like he's like, "All right, let's get this done with," which is also something that's like
Yeah.
understandable. So Philip, he was definitely in that mood. He just wasn't saying it. So
Uh, the body language was
the
your
body
cue.
language was real. So
Could
we take our
could you
photo.
imagine? Could you imagine when you when his handler asked us like, okay, what do you want from Ron? And be like, I want to kiss him on his lips. I got a grand in cash right here. I want a good old smooch. It doesn't have to have no tongue or anything like that. Just lips on lips. That's all. He could do a little peck if he wanted to, but I got a grand right here in cash,
Mhm.
USD. And she's like, and Ron looks at her and she looks at him and he's like, all right,
All right.
yes.
Damn. But
Damn.
no, she was very nice. She was a very
That's
nice
good.
lady. In fact, I had
That's
like
good.
previously I was preparing to be like depending on how the situation was going to go. I was preparing to be like I'm on the autism spectrum, blah blah blah, just kind of preparing that
Yeah.
for the yeah. But I didn't need to do that, which was great. So he got up, one of the other handlers that he had took a photo and he turned around, he's like, "It was nice to meet you." I shook his hand again, and then I was on my way. And then Alex got up, did a photo op with him, shook his hand. He also asked him a question. He asked him, "Did they really pay you what was it, $7 and a ham sandwich to do
Oh
Fallout?"
yeah. And
And he's like, "Yes." And it was a chicken sandwich.
it was a chicken
It
sandwich.
was a
God
chicken
damn, that's
sandwich.
crazy.
So yeah, that was our experience with Ron Perlman. And overall, like I said, could have been better. Could I have asked him more questions? Yes, I constantly think of what I should have done. Like, I wish I got a picture with John Jackson Miller and the next person I'm gonna talk about. But honestly, it's like it's an in the moment thing, and I enjoyed the moment.
Right, right.
Maybe at some point in the future, I'll be able to ask Ron more questions, or maybe he's been on a couple of podcasts before, but I know we're a little small, but I don't know, it'd be cool to have him on our podcast.
Oh my god, could you imagine? It'd be like, you know what? I remember you from the con. So I thought you were a really outstanding young man, and I would love to do your podcast episode. I don't know if you were browsing or saw what people had in their hands, but like, did you see anything like very unique or rare that was going to get signed by Ron that you
uh,
saw in anybody else's hands, or do you think it was just kind of more general items like copies of
general.
Hellboy and like
It was definitely
Fallout merchandise?
general. I wasn't really looking, but the individual with me had his 4K copy. Somebody way ahead of the line had their collected volume copy of Hellboy Seed of Destruction that he
Oh,
had Ron
really?
sign. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Could you imagine someone secretly brought in like a paper cutout of Ron's face glued onto like a cheap ass blow up doll and be like, Ron, can you sign this for
Oh my
me?
god.
Listen, I know you'll never really touch me in that way, but god damn it, I can at least imagine it when I see your signature on your face on this blow up doll. Please, can you sign it for me?
Oh,
And Ron's like, yes.
yes. Oh, and on the Hellboy 4K steelbook, he signed his name and then he put Hellboy. And I was also asked if I wanted that personalized, like a to Liam or to someone. I said no. In the moment, Philip, honestly, I wanted to have Ron sign Mutant Chronicles as to Philip because I wanted to
Yeah,
send it to you. But in the
right.
moment, I fucking forgot. And I was like, yeah, personalize Mutant Chronicles to me, to Liam.
You
So
bastard, you son of a bitch.
s-
You ruined it.
so he
You
wrote
fucking ruined it.
so he wrote to Liam, Ron Perlman, then he wrote something else
Oh
on
yeah.
it.
What did he write?
That's what I'm wondering. So it looks like it says Sannez, which is like Sanez, but I was like, I don't know what that is. So here on the podcast, I'm gonna look up what his character's name was in Mutant Chronicles because I don't remember.
I don't think he was Sanez.
Like, what
He
is?
was definitely so he was like a monk character, wasn't
Yes,
he?
he
Like
was,
he was
but
part of that
like,
religion.
hold on. Let me look at his. So his character's name was Samuel.
Okay.
I think that's what he wrote because it's like
Could you
wait, because
could
it's
you
like wait. Let me look at it more. So there's the S, the A. The way that he wrote the third letter, I could see how it could be an M. This this can definitely be a U. The next one is definitely an E. But the last letter doesn't look like an L. It looks like a Z. But honestly, if he did write Samuel, I think that's cool that he remembers the name of his character.
right.
Because
Um
that to
al-
me says that he actually really does remember making this movie.
could you send me a picture of it so I could also look at what the how the signature says or what
I
it looks like
I do
if you
have
have it with you?
I do have it. I do have a picture of it. I'll send it to you. Yeah.
And he could also just be misremembering how what the character's name was, but if that's pretty close, you know, like that's still pretty fucking cool. And like I have to say, like he probably doesn't very often get one of his kind of like more niche things that he starred in, you know what I mean? I don't think
Mhm.
there's probably not a lot of people know
Yeah, see,
it,
look at
I,
how he writes it. I can definitely see how it is Samuel. But like look at the last letter.
yeah, it looks like a Z Sam I
Yeah.
does that say thank you? What does that say? Like the top.
No,
Wait a minute.
That's to Liam. Yeah,
Tulio.
there's a light glare, which is why I was kind of hesitant to send you. But that's to
So
Liam, Ron Perlman,
Tulio.
then his character's name.
Huh.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
no.
I can't 100%.
I'm pretty sure it is. I am 100% sure because if he signed the other one as Hellboy, then he also signed this one as his character Samuel.
Right.
Because that's like the closest it could be. And this isn't a knock against Ron. He has a very interesting writing style, I'll say that. And it looked like he was kind of in a bit of like a rush, having done this
Right.
on like the third day. But yeah, I think that's his character's name. I'm gonna say that's his character's name. Anyway, so mission accomplished. So Alex was like, anything else you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we could have gone and seen Patrick Warburton. His line was really long. We could have gone and seen Nika Futerman, who I also considered seeing for you. Could have seen a lot of other people. I had you on my mind the whole time.
Oh, thank you.
In the end, we did see one more person. We saw Timothy Zahn. Or at least I saw Timothy Zahn. And we got in line. His handler was also a very nice young lady. And Timothy Zahn is a very nice old man. I hadn't owned these books yet, so I bought the Thrawn trilogy, the one from the 90s, and I was like, oh yes, I would love to have it signed by him. So not only did he sign the slipcover that it came in, he signed each individual book.
Right.
And he had it personalized to me, and we were talking, and I asked him one question, because the other day I was on Reddit, and I had seen a meme about it was like a convention meme, I guess, where it's like Timothy's on ... Is that Kevin J. Anderson over there? Open fire. So Kevin J. Anderson is another author. He did the novelization for The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I guess they have a rivalry, according to Reddit. So I asked him if it was true that he and Kevin J. Anderson have a rivalry. And he gave me like, he like kind of squinted his face. He gave me like one of those funny squinted looks, and he's like, "Oh, there's no rivalry. That's just made up stuff on the internet."
No, yeah.
Which I thought was so funny. I was laughing. Oh my gosh. But when he got to signing them, he's like, "Do you want it personalized?" And I was like, "I don't know. Do what you want." And he's like, "Well, these are your books. What do you want me to do?" So we got them
Right.
personalized, and shook his hand. Good handshake too. Honestly, he was a really, really nice guy. Really liked him. Really liked his vibe. Even though I didn't plan on meeting him, I'm glad I did, because it's like, this guy is a legend in the Star Wars community. He's basically credited for reviving Star Wars in the 90s. His books were some
Right.
of the best-selling novels when they came out. Just in general. Like, they were on like the top 10 lists. But yeah. So we did a couple more rounds. Kaya was on a journey to find a cosplayer who was dressed up as the same character as her, which I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
She's on her own quest.
Yeah. So that stretched out for like 10 minutes, and at that point my feet were hurting and I felt fulfilled, and I was like, can we go? Can we go now? Can we go?
Right.
I felt like we could have stayed
Bob.
there for a couple more hours and met a couple more people, but honestly, I think at that point I did what I
Mission
wanted to do.
accomplished,
Mission
basically.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else was just bonus objectives.
Right.
Didn't find the cosplayer, and I was like, "Oh man, that sucks." Anyway.
Anyway. Oh, look,
Anyway,
there's the door game.
and then we left. And that was my experience at Terrificon. Overall, really great experience for my first convention. People were nice.
Hell yeah.
There was a guy with a really killer mustache, and I complimented him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you."
Hell yeah.
Nobody complimented my shirt.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What was the coolest thing that you saw that you didn't buy or couldn't buy
Oh
at that
man,
time? If you can pick at least one item.
I didn't buy. Um, there was a wall of masks that somebody was selling. Alex bought a Deadpool mask from him. These looked like really good, high quality masks. You can take them apart in magnetic pieces. One of the
Oh, that's cool.
masks I thought was Spawn, but it was actually Bane. Which, fuck me, I guess, because
Okay.
I'm the comic book guy. But the guy was like, I think was with like his wife or a friend who was a girl, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
somebody left the Spawn masks at home."
No shit. Really? That's crazy.
So they were expensive anyway. But honestly, if there was a Spawn mask there, I think I would have bought it, because these masks were pretty well done. These were really cool.
Did you see any Fallout stuff?
Yes, some guy was selling prop guns.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like what
Oh,
kind of, like, was it just pipe weapons or like
no, like the laser pistols,
laser?
laser guns.
Oh, yeah. Any
But
plasma?
I don't remember, but what the jewel of my eye on that wall from that cellar that I didn't buy, but I wish I did, was the Lancer from Gears of War.
No shit, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was like, yeah, I just finished these games not too long ago. I want one. Didn't buy it. But
Could you imagine if for like out of just pure chance you saw like a fucking Folsom carbine or even a
yeah.
Cimarron bullseye up there, some shit like that.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking cool.
Yeah, the guy was also selling the assault rifle and battle rifle from Halo. I think there was also
Oh,
the ray
awesome.
gun from COD Zombies. A lot of like I guess some Destiny guns too, but honestly, I feel like I could have talked to the guy and asked him like about like his information or stuff like that if he did like
Oh
custom
yeah, like
orders or anything. But
a
that
business card, yeah.
that wasn't really on my mind, but like at the same time I was like, you know, it'd be really cool if they were selling here the Samaritan from Hellboy so I could get
Oh
that
yeah.
signed by Ron because I have one, but it's kind of out of commission.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing well. It's a little broken. But yeah, honestly, I don't know who the guy was, but he had a lot of shit that he was selling, even like swords and stuff. So honestly, I feel like I could have asked him and seen if he could do custom orders or like stuff like that for
Or
resistance
yeah.
for like the M5A2 and the bullseye or the auger, shit like that. Because honestly, I feel like we need more representation for niche shit.
I think so too. This is a side tangent, but I think like there is a profit to be made from niche weapons because like you'd be surprised how often like nerds or fans go to those cons that they wish that their like niche fucking like faction had or like there were prop weapons or costumes for that because like there's a market for everything because like a lot of these franchises had like big groups of fans even if it's niche now but like you probably make a profit or sell a dollar because like how often do you see like a fucking like weapon from I'm trying to think of like a like Gears of War. Like I'm sure there's plenty of prop makers that have like the Lancer up on their fucking wall or a Zat gun from Stargate
Mm,
or like what's the weapons that they use in the Star Trek?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I don't watch Star
They have
Trek.
some. They have some, or just even just like a fucking like blaster from Star Wars.
Yeah. Or like even Mass Effect weapons, like the I think the main rifle is called a Lancer too, which is funny. Um
Right,
or the Avenger, one of those. One of those
right.
rifles from Mass Effect. Or the Carnifex. I think there was some Mass Effect things that I saw there. Like there was an N7 hat that I was like, "Oh, I want to get that," but like we were on our way out by the time I remembered, and I was like, "Ah, another day."
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, overall, great experience for my first convention, which
Nice.
for the convention people, I hope you're pleased with that. I have my convention virginity has been taken, and it was a great experience. So honestly, I have conventions on the radar now, and
Hell yeah.
Alex and Kaya were looking at the New York Comic Con, but that's in New York City, and no one wants to go there. So we're not. So I guess they're not doing that. Especially after I told Alex that I was in the city, because fuck New
Yeah.
York City. Um, but there's G Fest in Illinois. I've been wanting to go to G Fest for years.
Really? Okay.
That's the annual Godzilla festival.
Oh, okay. I see why you're interested in it now.
Yeah, and I was like, well, there's not just G Fest there. This is the home state of Abraham Lincoln.
You could probably go to like his home and find the giant penny that Batman also has in his cave, and you can have it. And then they're just like, yeah, we have a few Batman fans who come in here for a custom giant ass penny, so it's about a couple grand, but you can take it home
they
if
got
you
a
can get it in your car.
they got a mint in
Sorry.
the fucking log cabin that he lives in, and they're like, yeah, we make giant pennies. All right,
No,
thanks Two Face.
it's like a sub basement. It's a giant sub factory below the cabin, just
Yeah.
like printing out giant fucking pennies.
What's this lever on the wall? Let me show you. They like put it down. Secret stairs open. It's like I'm just imagining Two Face is the one that's doing this. Like, welcome to the underground mint, where we make giant pennies. two at a
Oh
time.
no, it's like the intro to Sector C from the Transformers movie. And
You mean
they're just
Sector
like, "What's
7?
Sector C?" Or Sector 7, yeah, Sector 7, where they're just like going down into the Hoover Dam. It's like, yes, we built Abraham Lincoln's family built this log cabin to hide the secret of a giant printing press that he knew he would become the penny of the United States.
See, that's the real story of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. They wanted to get to the secret Lincoln Bank and meant to.
And it turns out the vampires were actually crackheads trying to steal copper from the factory.
They're trying to steal our copper wires. Them and the Jews.
Oh, yeah,
We gotta
fucking.
hide it at all costs.
We unfortunately in modern times we had to cut back on production of pennies. That was the official story, but we struck a deal with President Trump so we could get all copper to make it for our penny presses for the foreseeable future.
Our mint is run by the brainworms of RFK. Welcome to the mint. I'm back
Actually,
from the Resistance Part 3 episode. RFK Jr.
actually, technically, you know what also is like the assassination of Abraham Lincoln was all a facade to like yes his physical body died and the bullet hole shows that he's like actually the bullet hole that went through the back of his head actually was just like surgical scarring to where they actually took his brain out of his head and placed it in a jar and then the jar was transported back to his family's cabin where it then was plugged into the mainframe that was producing the that runs the factory under the log cabin that prints out the fucking penny. So like it's Abraham Lincoln is still alive, folks. He just is the computing the main computer for the printing press.
You want to go meet Abe Lincoln? And then they go into the back room and it's like, lobotomites, welcome.
Are those penises
Oh my
wriggling around
gosh.
in your shoes?
Would he be
Get the disinfectant.
would he be one of the think tank robots, or would he be one of those robots on treads that also have the brain in the
The
fucking
robo brains.
the
No, I
robo
want to.
brain?
I would hope that he was like a fucking a think tank brain. Like I feel like he would probably be like I forget what doctor it is, but the one that's kind of like separate from the rest that you have to go to the forbidden zone to go
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
like potentially kill. Yeah.
Was it
But he actually
Ouroboros? Was that his name? I forget.
no, I forget. It's been forever since I've played that, but
Mm.
yeah. And Abraham Lincoln, yeah, some of the brain worms got into his jar. My bad. I wanted to drink the Kool Aid. Everybody does it, but some of the worms got into there, and well, all he does now is just like recite, the Emancipation Proclamation on repeat, 24 hours a day. So kind of screwy, but it's still Abe Lincoln. He's still there.
This was about Terrificon.
Yeah, guys, we're just brainstorming for the next novel
this
idea.
is this is a weird G Fest visit.
Yeah.
The secret mint underneath Lincoln's home. Robert Todd Lincoln didn't want to tell fucking any of the presidents about this shit.
Yeah.
Listen, they
Anyway,
don't need to know.
but
Yeah,
yeah, like
anyway.
I think you're a little bit more fortunate with Con being near you because like Connecticut is a very small state
Yeah.
to traverse, and like New York City is just kind of like a stone's throw away from where you live, more or less. Whereas I live in the great state of Virginia. Our stuff's spread out. So like the closest probably convention is either Roanoke or Richmond for me. So couple hours, 3 at the max, but that's a lot of traveling that to just like also stand in lines and be with a bunch of other people. So it's not all that great. But
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully in the student future, I can also pop my cherry when it comes to an actual convention. So
Yeah, I saw one for Virginia Beach not too long ago. That had a couple of names
yeah,
that I recognized.
yeah, that's almost like 4 hours for me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Yeah. So for future conventions, what I'm looking for to meeting people is David Kay, voice of Nathan
Oh
Hale,
no.
want to meet him.
Nice.
Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger, want to meet him. My mom has a friend who's big into horror, and she was facilitating me answers to some of the questions I had about conventions. And she's met a lot of people like Robert Englund, and she even like spent a day with one of the people who played Jason Voorhees.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
So yeah, I would definitely love to meet Patrick Warburton. I missed my chance, but honestly, it was a lot going on. But one day, Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, I would love to meet him. I would love to meet Yvonne Navarro, but I don't know if I can't find much information pertaining to her. She had a website, but like nothing pops up anymore on the website. She still has a Twitter, but she's not very active on it, especially after her husband passed, which is, unfortunate. I don't think she doesn't really do any conventions. She hasn't really been active that much, so which is kind of a shame because I want to talk to her about her novelizations at some point in the future. But anyway, who else did I want to meet? I want to meet some of the cast of Team Fortress 2 in person. I know that they go to plenty of conventions and stuff like that. I would love to meet David Boat, Joseph Capelli's voice actor, also the clone team announcer in Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original from
Right.
2005. Probably Cole McGrath's voice actor would be cool to me, and Geralt of Rivia's voice actor. Steve Downes and Jen Taylor, obviously. Master Chief and Cortana. Mark Meer and Jennifer Hale, I would love to meet the Commander Shepherds.
Hmm.
Specifically Jennifer Hale. Like, if I had to choose one over the other, it'd probably be Jen. And sometimes I don't know if there's like any celebrities that show up at G Fest, but it's usually like YouTubers that go there, like some old Godzilla YouTubers like Kaijuzilla 621 and Louis Duran. I think I would love to meet those guys at some point. Oh, and Natasha Henstridge. I would love to meet her. The last convention she went to I saw was 2024. So I don't know if she's going to do any conventions in the near future, but I would love to meet her because she played Syl and Eve in Species 1 and Species 2. So I think that'd be great. And she still looks pretty good. She's doing good. No, seriously, she's it's like she hasn't aged at all since the 90s. But yeah, I think that's gonna be about it. I hope everybody enjoyed that little extra fucking bit about the hidden Lincoln Mint.
That was the actual. We're actually just spinning conspiracy theories here at the Bricked Up podcast. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah. For that was our second special episode. I hope we get to do another special episode at some point in the future. Usually we do a special episode as like an off the cuff thing. Like if we have something that we really want to talk about, then we'll
right?
do a
Yeah.
special episode, which has only happened twice so far. And even though there could have been other times where we could have done it, we haven't done it. Sometimes I gotta grab Phillip by the balls and drag him into our not recording studio to get this shit done. Look, I know you're
Yeah.
moving into a new house, but we gotta do this.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it regardless if you like it, Philip.
But
All right, folks.
yeah. So next month we have next month we have the DC Comics episode in September. And as we talked about in the last episode, September is also going to be the month where Philip and I are going to be recording episodes for the next 4 months, basically.
Yep. Yep.
Which will include our episode for October, our Halloween special Hellboy, our November episode, which will be celebrating the 20th anniversary of Resistance, which, Philip, I've been brainstorming an idea, and I'm probably going to bite the bullet on it. I'm going to try to get in contact with Ted Price and see if he would love to come onto the podcast, and maybe we'll have
Oh
him for that
man,
episode.
I would be ecstatic if you got to get Ted Price because probably should be easier to get a hold of him now that he's retired. But he
Yeah,
also probably has 1,000 different people bugging him at his doorstep for podcasts.
maybe.
So
But
I guess we'll see what happens.
if I do secure him, And if we do negotiate a date and time for like a weekend, you have to commit to it.
Oh, I know. I 100% know. I know that's something we can't skip out on because
Hmm.
his time is very valuable.
And if we can't get Ted, I want to see if I can contact Eric Gooch, who did some of the lighting for Fall of Man.
Yeah, yeah. At least we can get somebody who's worked on
Yeah,
this IP.
this
So
game,
he
yeah,
seems a little bit. He seems like a tiny bit more available.
maybe. But December will be our Christmas special, which we unfortunately did not do last year, but this year we're
Right.
guaranteed to do a Christmas special, and that'll be Philip and I talking about the movie Jingle All the Way and Arnold Schwarzenegger films.
Yep, yep. It's gonna be a great time, everybody.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're probably gonna feel some of the fatigue as we go through
Oh
them
my
next
goodness.
month.
Yeah.
And all this is gonna be done because Philip has something called peak seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably getting my ass handed to me because my work schedule is about to blow up. So we're just trying to get this done ahead of time, just
Mm,
so we can have these videos out on time every month that they're supposed to come out. So like, so you guys don't get affected by me being fucking, drowned with work for a couple to 3 months worth of work. So, but yeah, so hopefully you guys get to see. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and we
mm,
hope that you guys enjoy the few next round of videos coming out in the next month and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe we'll have a special episode in between now and the end of the year. So
mm.
we'll see what happens. But thanks everybody. Liam, any last words?
I don't know if I have any last words. The only thing on my mind right now is trying to figure out what our schedule for next year is going to look like because we have some idea as to what we're doing. And honestly, I can, man, oh man, because I had that Mass Effect episode at the beginning of the year, and I know that you want to
Yeah.
tackle Fallout next year.
Yeah, we have some big hitters that could potentially be on the list next year. The only unfortunate thing, folks, is that like we said, it's like Fallout is one of them. Warhammer 40K is a possible another one of them. Liam, did
Mm.
you have another one?
I
That was like a really good.
want, I want to tackle Gears of War next year.
Mm, yeah, and as like with the Mass Effect episode, those are that they are very lengthy.
Big episodes.
They can diverge into individual episodes with certain topics relating to those franchises, which is great, but also we have to get through them first before we can
Yeah,
do off branching stuff. And honestly, if I'm being honest with you, probably those off branching episodes may not even come next year for any of those related videos
yeah,
that we talked about. It may be coming the year after that, or even the year after that, because we have a lot that we want to cover,
yeah,
we want to have a basis for.
yeah. Who
And
knows?
honestly, I think the idea behind those like episodes that are related to those things is that kind of when we kind of run out of very specific topics to talk about or movie franchises or
Hmm.
whatever, we can then delve deeper into those respective franchises and create more content for you guys basically.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's definitely some ideas that I'll talk to you about maybe after our recording. We'll
right.
probably make our schedule, but yeah, I feel like depending on how things go, maybe we'll do GI Joe in 5 years. Who knows? Uh,
Who knows?
who knows? But yeah, thank you all for joining us again. Like Philip said, hopefully we'll have some more special episodes in the future. Hopefully, maybe we'll dedicate those to like maybe movie reviews, like how we talked about doing Iron Lung at the beginning of the year, but we never did that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Mic test. 1, 2, 3. Speak your mind, Philip. Speak, boy.
Oh my god, I
Oh,
love John Fallout. I love
John.
my man John Fallout.
John
He is the
Chronicle.
greatest. John Chronicle Fallout.
John
Fallout
Mutants.
John man who's got the chronic itch in his pants. and I am there to itch his chronic itch, you know.
Yep. Okay. I should put this in the episode at some point.
It can be the after the outro
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah. All right.